Hello, I hope you are okay. Are you sitting comfortably? Right, after last time we saw the structure and a bit of the history of the sonnet, and we saw that it was a very fashionable form of literature during the 16th century. What we are going to see is that Shakespeare wrote various collections of sonnets. Anyway, before seeing Shakespeare's sonnets, we are going to talk about William Shakespeare and his life. In the picture on page 108, so William Shakespeare, page 108, there's a picture of his first house that is along the main street in Stratford upon Avon. In Stratford, you can also visit his second house, that is to say, a very big house that he bought once he went back to Stratford after he was famous, that is just next to the church, okay? And it is very interesting. Stratford is a very pretty town, in fact. It has also various lovely gardens to visit. Right. Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon. He had his first education there. He studied there at the local grammar school. He got married. He had children. And then all of a sudden he disappeared, which makes him quite mysterious. And we find him after a time in London. In London, we think that before becoming a playwright, before becoming an actor, he was an actor before becoming a playwright, he did quite a lot of odd jobs, probably. Anyway, when he started as a playwright, and of course all the artists had to be under the protection of an important person. At the beginning he was under the protection of the Earl of Southampton, Il Conte di Southampton, and in fact it is for the Earl of Southampton that he wrote also some sonnets. After that, so he became successful as a playwright, and he was in the company of actors of the Lord Chamberlain's men to become, under James I, the King's men. After his career, his very successful career as an actor, as a playwright, as a company director, so he went back to Stratford, where he died. I mean, this is practically the general scheme of Shakespeare's life. Okay, we're going to read about Shakespeare. Please try to fill in the blanks. William Shakespeare remains a mysterious figure as regards his personal history. Quindi è una storia personale che fa di lui praticamente una figura un po' misteriosa. There are just two primary sources for information. Ci sono soltanto due fonti primarie di informazioni. His works, le sue opere, and various legal and church documents, vari documenti legali e documenti della Chiesa, that have survived from Elizabethan times, sopravvissuti dai tempi elisabettiani. Okay, I'm going to read this paragraph about Shakespeare's life, and please would you like to fill in the blanks with the details. William Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon in April 1564, possibly on the 23rd of April, St. George's Day, sarebbe la festa di San Giorgio, the patron saint of England, patrono d'Inghilterra, which is also said to be the date of his death. Si pensa anche che sia la data della sua morte. His father was a yeoman. Il padre era un borghese, a successful tradesman, un commerciante di successo, until he met with financial difficulties, prima di avere delle difficoltà finanziarie. William was the eldest son, era il figlio più grande, and attended the local grammar school. La grammar school è più o meno un liceo, where he acquired a good knowledge of the English language, dove acquisì una buona conoscenza della lingua inglese and of classic authors e degli autori classici. He married Anne Hathaway when he was 23 and she was 26. They had 3 children, Susanna and the twins, I gemelli, Judith and Hamnet. In 1584 he left Stratford, quindi andò via da Stratford, probably because he had been caught deer hunting, perché l'avevano preso per la caccia al cervo, and poaching, e per bracconaggio. It was at that time that he first experienced the playhouse. Fu in quell'epoca che probabilmente fece la sua prima esperienza di teatro, the playhouse e l'edificio teatrale. He was received into one of the acting companies, quindi fu accolto in una delle compagnie di attori, at first in a very minor role, all'inizio in un ruolo molto minore, but his wit, ma il suo spirito, la sua arguzia, soon distinguished him, presto lo distinse, if not as a great actor, se non come grande attore, as a playwright, come commediografo, autore teatrale. In 1593 the London theatres were closed because of the plague, quindi i teatri di Londra chiusero a causa della peste, and Shakespeare needed the support of a patron, quindi aveva bisogno del sostegno di un mecenate. He received this support from a young nobleman, quindi ricevette questo sostegno da un giovane nobile, the Earl of Southampton, il conte di Southampton, to whom he dedicated his poems, a chi ha dedicato le sue poesie. When the theatres reopened, quando i teatri riaprirono, Shakespeare became a shareholder, divenne un azionista, and the main playwright e l'autore teatrale principale of the most successful company of actors in London, della compagnia più di successo di attori a Londra, the Lord Chamberlain's Men, che è il nome della sua compagnia. In 1599 his company built the Globe Theatre, costruì il Globe Theatre. You can visit the Globe Theatre and watch performances at the Globe Theatre nowadays in London. You can also see the Globe Theatre in Villa Borghese too, where most of his plays were performed, dove la maggior parte delle sue opere furono rappresentate. Between 1590 and 1596 he wrote his early plays, quindi scrisse le sue prime opere teatrali. At the same time as the history plays, allo stesso tempo delle tragedie storiche. Between 1593 and 1600 he put 10 comedies onto the stage, mise in scena anche 10 commedie, ranging from farce to romance, che andavano dalla farsa alla commedia sentimentale. The great tragedies were written between 1595 and 1605. Le grandi tragedie furono scritte appunto tra il 95 e 1605. The great tragedies, I remember, are Romeo and Juliet, that we all like, was one of his early plays. Othello, okay, Hamlet, Macbeth, and King Lear. These are the 4 great tragedies. The latter part of his life, la seconda parte della sua vita, was spent in retirement and Stratford, quindi l'ultima parte in realtà della sua vita la trascorse in ritiro a Stratford. He died in 1616 when he was 52 years old and was buried in the local church. The church, in fact, is in Stratford, is next to his last house, to the big house. 7 years after his death, some of his friends, 7 anni dopo la sua morte, alcuni dei suoi amici and fellow actors e colleghi attori published an edition of his plays in one volume, quindi pubblicarono un'edizione delle sue opere teatrali in un volume unico, the famous First Folio. Okay, right, so I would like you to study Shakespeare's life a bit, and next time we shall start seeing which are the characteristics of the sonnets. Okay, goodbye, take care.